She's staring at me menacingly. Just look at that face.
Oh.
Disgusting. All right, run. This is gonna be hell. The only compliment I will give to this character, and it's more towards Shift Up, is that Shift Up knows how to make a very, very well designed character. Out of curiosity, and I'm going to assume that it is a yes. Out of curiosity, is Crow one of the launch characters? One of the first launch characters? I'm just curious. OG, yes. Okay, so this is gonna take place way before the whole arc shit. Okay. So this is gonna be Crow in her, I guess, I don't know, innocent day? Welcome back, Luna. Hi. Imagine if Crow had a banner. No one would pull. She's a day one character. Okay, good to know. I'm not even gonna start with the usual intro, man. I'm just gonna go right the fuck in. All right, let's do it. Paul, you say?
Ready when you are.
Yeah. Ready when I am. I'm not ready. I'm not. All right. D3, you say? D3. All right. And I guess I'll start with an intro. Hi, YouTube.
Such a puppy.
Hi, YouTube. We're doing Crow's Bond story. No, I'm not excited. I'm very, This is gonna be the saddest YouTube intro I've ever done. Oh my god. All right, let's do it. Crow's Bond story, D3. What am I getting myself into? What the fuck are you doing in rehab? Actually, no, you stay in rehab.
Oh.
In the afternoon. In the afternoon at the interrogation room in the rehabilitation center.
Need a sharper sword.
Good start. Oh.
Hello there.
I wonder, should I give her a funny voice? I have the chipmunk sound board. Nah, actually no. Seems so. As long as I'm locked in the rehabilitation center, you'll always come knocking. Do it now.
Oh, it's all coming out now.
All right, let's start the interrogation. Jesus. All right, let's start the interrogation. Or are you here for my mental health? I want to leave. Regardless, it'll be nice to spend some time together. They say you may have some mind switch symptoms. Interesting. No, my brain is normal. Besides, anytime Nikke does something a human finds incomprehensible, the higher-ups will always try and attach a label to her. Incomprehensible? Like what? Actually, I went to ACPU yesterday to turn myself in. I told them I was the one behind the terrorist incident at the Daily Arc newspaper office. Why? Before I knew it, those morons had tossed me in here. What did you say? Why are you so surprised? I'm an outlaw and suspected of being the former head of a terrorist organization. It's odd to be making such a fuss over nothing, don't you think? Did you really do it? Yes. And no. I'm sorry. Do you like riddles? Not when it comes from you. No. Well then, I'm afraid we're at an impasse. Let's talk about something else. Come what may, the final judgment will be made by the AI. You don't have to rack your brain too hard coming up with your own opinion. So let's just have a nice chat. Can you show me today's newspaper? I want to know what's going on out there. I show her the newspaper. Let me see. Well, at least she's honest. At around 8:33 this morning, the Daily Arc newspaper office, which has always trumpeted the danger of Nikkes, was subjected to a terrorist attack by an armed irregular Nikke. An angry mob numbering in the thousands gathered in front of the central government's office building, where they express vehement and anti-Nikke sentiments. Jesus fucking Christ. By smashing Nikke effigy. Wait, effigies? Yikes. Things aren't looking good. Yeah, I know, like the Nikke phobia stuff. Humans are bastards. Yeah. They may break into the into the rehabilitation center to kill me. Things are really starting to get out of hand. Technically, there's no law regarding slander against a Nikke, but they can't spread this fake news just because I turned myself in, can they? Fake news? The so-called facts that are being reported are a sham, especially this. Was subject to a terrorist attack by an armed irregular Nikke. Sure, I'm not entirely innocent, but I don't use any weapons. Okay. What do you mean? Exactly what I said. There were plenty of other people actually using firearms there. How come the media is focusing solely on me? Could they be following orders from the central government? If so, then the plot has thickened. Could you please start making sense? Yeah, please? Don't be nervous. Just take it easy. They are almost 3 days before the formal hearing anyways. In the meantime, it's just the two of us stuck in here in the rehabilitation center. We should save some topics for our later conversations. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So tell me, what are your thoughts on all this? Okay. As of now, nothing in particular, yeah. No need to be shy. You are already in the rehabilitation center after all. Perhaps I lied just to mess with you. Or maybe I manipulated other Nikkes into opening fire into a crowd. I'm sure you got a whole bunch of hypotheses. I think you're indirectly responsible for orchestrating this incident. I'm not going to jump to conclusion. I can't read her, like, at all. Like, I can't. Ugh. The latter may be true. Crow, as well written as she is, she's such a hard character just to understand. Mysterious and enigmatic. Holds Zula's hand there. Responsible for orchestrating this incident. I'm not going to jump to conclusion. I'm gonna hold. Seriously? Why are your words so measured? You're starting to bore me. So you're saying you don't have enough information to pass judgment, is that it? Then allow me to offer another perspective. There will be an interesting video on Tetranet tonight. We'll see if you change your tune after watching that video. Well, it's a good thing your Bond story is short. A video? Guess we'll see. D2, day 2, yeah. Never let them know your next move. That's intentional. D2. At night in the commander's room. I watched the video on Tetranet that Crow told me about. Daily Arc newspaper terrorist attack video shocking. I click on the video with that title. Okay. Bang, bang. That's a lot of bangs. Do you think we...
Oh my god, I can't believe my eyes.
Do you think we outlaws are lower than insects? Ugh! Outlaws! Call the police! What should we do? Well, let me tell you. These insects have a voice. And we have guns. Nikke. Wait, Nikke. There's a Nikke over there. Kill that lunatic. What are you gonna do here, huh? What are you waiting for? How could she do this? Someone was gunned down right in front of her and she didn't care at all. Could that Nikke be an irregular? Okay, listen. I'm not like on Crow's side or anything, but just the idea that the humans immediately thought that she was on their side is interesting to me. Huh. Goddamn. Next day, in the rehabilitation center interrogation room. Hey, I haven't seen you for 24 hours. That's very specific of you. You seem a little perturbed. Did you tune into my little video by any chance? Yes, I have a question for you. Nikke is supposed to serve human. Sorry, you'll have to wait just a moment. It's mealtime now. I have a question for you. If I can even keep it down, the Spiderman smells like garbage. Blah. I thought I had an iron stomach, but 2 days of this junk is starting to get to me. Well then, what is it? I ate today's meal for nothing anyway, so get to the point. Why didn't you do anything at the scene of the terrorist attack? Why didn't you stop that criminal from shooting those people? Why didn't you do anything? I'll answer your questions. Okay. But do you mind if I ask a few questions on my own? Oh God. I hate these type of shit, man. Just answer the question. Go ahead. If, in your opinion, who was the shooter? An outlaw? What are you getting at, Crow, huh? What are you getting at? You're a good judge of character. Next question. Why are you quizzing me? Do ARK citizens truly believe that outlaws are inferior beings? No. Then why do you discriminate against them? They are human beings, 100% genetically identical to yourself. Yet you strip away their civil rights and banish them to the darkness depths of the outer rim. You don't even toss them to You don't even toss them the scraps of food that litter the ground of the Ark. Whether I like it or not, this is the central government's policy. True. I'm not asking what you think. I'm asking about how the other civilians feel about all this. Well, I don't like this. I feel like I'm the one being judged. Let me answer your question with another question. Well, food is limited in the Ark, living space is limited in the Ark. I wouldn't even know which one to go for. I feel like it's... I'm not asking what you think. I'm asking about how the other civilians feel about all this. Well, the food is limited in the Ark. Well, living space is limited in the Ark. I guess living space? Oh, is that so? What you mean is humans in the Ark far outweigh the meager resources, and someone has to suffer. If you draw the short straw, then you're forced to become an outlaw. By that logic, I should be able to look the other way regarding that shooter. Huh? I'm serious. That shooter did everyone a favor by calling the herd. Now the Ark won't have to use as many resources to maintain itself. Is that really the reason you stood by and did nothing? You have so many doubts, none of which are useful. So instead, let me ask you one final question. Oh my god. Have a good night, Robbie. What if it had been you instead of me? Would you have killed that outlaw? Or I would have probably just taken him in, if anything. I would have stopped them from killing the other reporters at least, yeah. Then, who will avenge the outlaws? The law, the people, once they learn of the outlaws' plight. I'm not even gonna lie. She's giving me a headache. I'm not even joking. I can feel like, you know, like my head hurting. Oh my god. Ugh. What was the question? Would you have killed that outlaw? Or I would have stopped them from killing the reporters on least. Then who will avenge the outlaws? The law, the people, once they learn of the outlaws' plight. The people? Isn't that right? Outlaws leech off their own kind in order to survive. Safe to say, they're not exactly in the public's good graces. These people that you speak of are most likely in a similar situation, outlaws with no way out. But the problem is that outlaws have no civil rights. Enoch said that only citizens have the right to peaceful assembly and to freedom of association with others. So when outlaws unite in nonviolent protests, not even that is tolerated. The story summarized until now is just, sure, you're fighting for the Ark against the outlaws, but who fights for the outlaws? Yeah. Okay. It's unfortunate that he had to resort to violence, but what other choices did he have? That is why I let him go. Happy now? You need to tell me, in that little second or like little moment of the middle-aged guy yelling at you to help out, you thought of all this. Outlaws leech of their own kind in order to survive. Safe to say, it's not exactly in the public's good grace. These people that you speak of are most likely in a similar situation, outlaws with no way out. Enoch said that only citizens have the right to peaceful assembly and to freedom of association with others. So when outlaws unite in nonviolent protests, not even that is tolerable. It's unfortunate that he had to resort to violence, but what other choice did he have? That is why I let him go. Happy now. Okay, I have another question. Go ahead. Could your way of thinking be due to the fact you used to be an outlaw? What? Hey, wait a minute. Why are we talking about me all of a sudden? Because it's you! I'm your Nah, I'm your commander, so I come to speak with you about your mental health. You're my primary focus. I hate this. You always ask such pointed questions out of the blue.
What?
I don't like to talk about myself, but if I have to, the answer would be yes.
Egads.
Oh, it's all coming out now.
Okay, so you were an outlaw. I was born in the Ark sewage dump. I have seen how filthy and grime corrupt even the purest of souls. You can't say the shooter who killed those reporters is innocent. That much is true. But before you go casting stones, ask yourself, is he truly guilty? Or is he merely the product of oppression. Oppression from the class of which you yourself are a part. Oh, thank God I don't need to see her face. All right. I will say one thing about Crow's Bond story as of now. I have been told that Crow's Bond story is probably the most interesting one, and I can see why. I can definitely see why it's interesting. I hate it, but it does make you think of the good and bad guy perspective, like who truly is the bad guy and who truly is the good guy in a sense. The thing this Bond story does is give some more insight about people conditioned by the RxCG in the Outer Rim. Yeah, it makes you think. I love it, but I hate it. Yeah, her story is interesting, not my favorite. Yeah, I mean, the central government is an asshole. Yeah, no, like we knew that the central government has always been an asshole. It's just it's interesting to see it in, I guess, in her perspective, in a sense. I can see where Crow's coming from, but the way her does things is wrong in my eyes. Yeah, no, it does. It does. At night, the commander's room. I sit silently in my room, mulling over my conversation with Crow. Suddenly, I start speculating. She must be covering for the criminal because of her old outlaw mindset, using this incident to convey some kind of message to me. Forget it, no use jumping to conclusions. She likes to talk in riddles. So I would say she's trying to convey a message to me, I want to say. Oh. What would Luna pick? I would end this. I would click the skip button. Commander, I heard you've been speaking to Crow. Is it about the terrorist attack on the Daily Ark? Yeah, it is. Hi, Polly. Did you watch the video that came out? Daily Ark newspaper terrorist attack video. Shocking. Yes. Good. Then this will be easier for me to explain, okay? We investigated the shooting yesterday. They had been in regular contact with Crow. Oh. They've been in contact for over a year. You don't say. Oh God, hold up, like my head is actually hurting. I think I'm gonna have to take some medication just to alleviate like some of the pain. Oh my God. They've been in contact for over a year. He refuses to say anything about their communication. But judging from Crow's past records, there's a distinct possibility that Crow, she incited that man into committing the crime. Why am I not surprised if that's the case? There's still a theory at this point that is very suspicious. Of course, this alone is not enough to identify her as a suspect. As you know, Crow's record is spotless? Obviously, at this time of the story, I guess. Really? Crow's record is spotless all the way back to when she was a human? Huh, okay. Interesting. I guess in a way it makes sense, because judging from what we know with Crow just uses people. Yeah, no, like she just manipulates people. So she never dirties her hands. She, you know, like she just kind of gives them like the information and then she kind of just, you know, hides off somewhere. Damn. Okay. Likely really doing the deed herself and working through others' manipulation and so. Yeah. Crow had others do her dirty work for her. Jesus. Smart move. Very smart. God damn. Crow's record is spotless all the way back to to when she was a human. She may have been filmed at the scene of the crime, but that's not Crow's usual range of actio. How do you say? Wait, huh? Hold up. New word. How do you say this? New word. Wait, is this even a word? Google can't even find it. Wait, I think it's a spelling mistake. Yeah, no, like Google. I think it's a spelling mistake. Action but typo. Okay, I was about to say because I'm like, Google can't find it. I think Polly meant action. Oh my god. Small indie company, please show mercy. Yeah, no, like I'm not gonna, you know, like go after them for this. But that's not Crow's usual range of action. Jesus, I was about to say, I'm like, how do you say this? Oh well. I'm so done. I'm so done. Polly! Polly, damn it! I had to bring out Google for this shit. So real texting. Oh my god. So everyone's a little skeptical. God damn it. It was intentional. Yeah. God damn it, Polly. So everyone's a little skeptical.
Why?
I thought you should be kept. Is that a typo too? No, it's not. Abreast? Now I don't even know what's a typo and what's not. I thought you should be kept abreast. Jesus. It's a thing. I know it's a thing. It just doesn't sound right. It doesn't look right. Oh my god, Crow rotting Luna's brain. It really is. Abreast of the situation, so I came to speak with you. Noted. Oh my god. Huh. I say. Polly, you and I are gonna have a little chat. Fucking closes the phone on me. Jesus. Oh my god. Polly hit you with the oh my god. Alright, D1. That was probably like the most amusing thing out of this Bond story. Just that little mess up. That was probably the most amusing thing out of everything else so far. Soon after, in the rehabilitation center interrogation room, I feel like we have gotten much closer. I feel like we have gotten much closer over the past few days. No. It hasn't even been 24 hours and you're back for another round of interrogation. Did something happen last night? Or perhaps you were influenced by the people in the anti-Nikke demonstration on your way home last night? I have a question. Hey, where are your manners? We haven't even exchanged pleasantries and you're already grilling me? Were you ever in contact with the shooter before the incident? If I said yes, I want to know what you two talked about. None of this is necessary. There's no point in trying to get to the bottom of all this. Enoch will gather all the statements and every last piece of evidence, then rearrange it so that the status quo can be maintained throughout the arc. Then, and only then, will the public be informed. All you have to do is wait and see what conclusion they come to, and then treat me accordingly. That's not what I asked. Stop dodging the question. You don't have to worry your pretty little head about any of this. Stop dodging! I can't agree. Why? I am... I am your commander, so I have to stand by your side. You know damn well current commander, nowadays commander, chapter 42 commander, he will not say this shit. He will not say that shit, man. Nah, I am your commander, so I have to stand by your side when necessary. It's true, Luna, it fucking sucks. It does. I need to understand your position. Is that the real reason? You mean it? Yes. I don't understand. I have nothing to say. Okay, you win. You want to know what the outlaw and I talked about, right? Yes. Yes. His name is Jack, or Jackie, something like that. Let's go with Jack, okay? In short, Jack first approached me about a year ago. Hi! After all, Jackal, Viper, and I are known figures in the Outer Rim. Whenever anyone was in trouble or a major decision needed to be made, they'll come looking for us. We were miracle workers to them. Jesus fucking Christ. Jack was in a particularly interesting pickle. He approached me when I was drinking in a bar and said, I want my daughter to have citizenship. I don't know how to feel about this, but okay. So I told him, I don't know why that made me laugh. Okay. Why did that make me laugh? Well, Jesus, get lost. If you want illegal citizenship, you should go find some professionals that can help erase your identity. If you want illegal citizenships, huh? The guy just stood there, still a statue. No, I want her to have an actual citizenship. I was getting tired of his antics, so I rebuffed him. Or rebuffed him. Rebuffed or rebuffed? I'm assuming it's rebuffed. In that case, just off. Jesus! Oh! In that case, just off her. If she's lucky, she might be born as a civilian in the next life. God damn! That kinda escalated pretty fucking quickly. So he went to you just to get his daughter's citizenship, citizenship? Huh. He went on about those things. How the only thing he wanted was for his daughter to eat normal food and not garbage scraps. Okay, listen, I get it then. For her to learn about something other than how to rummage through body bags. That she could grow up to have an ordinary job and not just be a killer. Body bags? He kept going on about what a big deal it was and the unfairness of it all, and I said, did you say or did you like act? Because it sounded like you just acted. Wake up, as I bonked him on the head hard. That didn't sound like a singular bonk. That sounded like several bonks. Yeah, no, that was several bonks. I'm no stranger to this place, and neither are you. So quit it with the fairy tales and snap out of it. Be that as it may, if you're willing to risk it all, you can still send your daughter to a suitable civilian for adoption, right? A love tap. Excuse me. After listening to what I had to say, the man walked away with a smile on his face. After that, he will come to see me every once in a while, although I've never asked him to. I'm looking for a suitable orphanage to send my daughter to. I said that I will give them all my possession, but every last one has turned me down. I'm starting to lose hope. These are the sorts of things he would share with me. A few moments later, I was out drinking with my squad mates when he showed up again. I found the perfect place for her in the sovereign residence. A poor old couple adopted her. Okay. I'm eternally grateful to them. So I sent some money anonymously to repay them. Okay. Yay. After that, I thought she'll cast off her old identity without a hitch. Where did things go wrong? Isn't it obvious? The fact his daughter had hidden her true identity was exposed. A xenophobic reporter discovered this. He wanted to film a sensational story about impoverished old couple and their hapless adopted daughter. Hapless or hopeless? I'm assuming hopeless. Uh-huh. So that's where it happened. Impoverished. Hapless is right? Okay. I mean, obviously, I am not on her side. But a part of me feels bad for the guy. I really do. So this reporter started... Okay. However, he ended up discovering that the family was living a better life than he had envisioned. He tracked the source of a donation they received, and it turned out to be from the Outer Rim. Just like that, what was supposed to be a small interview became a massive sensation. Oh. Citizens were incensed by what they saw as a shameless scam. They demanded more stringent policies, segregated outlaws from ordinary citizens. What do I even say about this? Well, come on in, Admiral. Hapless is right. The reporter ruined it? Yeah. The reporter found out about it, started talking about it, and it made everyone very much aware. And unsurprisingly, Jack was chased and beaten by the police. No one knows where the child was taken. The elderly couple who had adopted the child couldn't handle the shock of losing her and suffered a nervous breakdown. Oh. Oh, man. Oh, God. Through all this misery, the Daily Ark was laughing all the way to the bank thanks to their exclusive story. Yep. Well, they're not laughing now, yeah. And then that's when the guy came in and... Man, this is sad. Obviously, not in her scenario, like ignoring her, but... Just the idea that this guy who lived in the Outer Rim with his daughter, and he wants his daughter to have a happy lifestyle instead of her just, going through this terrible life in the Outer Rim. He found some people that can adopt her daughter to take care of her, and in doing so, he would send out some funds to, I guess, help out a little bit. The family found out that she's from the Outer Rim, But not only did the family find out, the, you know, like, word spread. And I understand why Crow hates the arc of humanity. Oh, I mean, like, I basically had a feeling as to why Crow always hated, you know, like the arc and humanity. It's just, I don't like how she handles things. That's the thing. How dare you bring this trash into the Ark? Yes. So the Ark is mostly full of shit like that on the daily. Yeah, but another person the Ark has killed, yeah. The nervous breakdown from losing the child too. It sounds like they still loved her. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It sounds like even though they knew about her true identity, they, you know, like they didn't care per se. Like, you know what I mean? But the promise is that word went out to a reporter who covered the story, and then, yeah, and now we're here today and stuff like that. So, let me ask you one more question. You love asking questions, huh? Who is in the wrong? Jack the outlaw, who attacked the newspaper office after being treated the way he had, or the reporter who informed against them? Or his daughter, whose only mistake was having the rotten luck of being an outlaw's daughter? Man, okay, that is tough. Oh, you know what? Easy. I blame the central government. Easy. There's no right answer. Central government. That's probably, like, you know, like the only answer I can think of is central government. That's it. That's it. I'll be surprised if Dorothy and Crow meet at some point. I wouldn't want that. Now he's dead and his daughter is suffering a fate worse than death, yeah. Even what happened to Rappy, she only wondered upon a protest, yeah. CG listening in on the commander blaming them. There goes our next paycheck. Crow is right, doesn't justify her actions though, yeah. Crow, in a sense, and I can't believe I'm gonna say this, Crow in a sense helped the dude. You know, like Crow did say, oh, if you want your daughter to have a happy life, just put her up, you know, put her up for adoption. And it worked. It worked. It's just, yeah. You don't have to agree with Crow, but her story does make you think. It really does. It really sucks because this is so real. Obviously, I'm not going to go into political terms because I just don't like talking about that and that type of stuff. But it's very, very real with how things are going on in everyday life. And it's hard. It's really, really difficult to know who, you know, like who's in the right and who's in the wrong. Even though we see more on either side, it's still difficult to pick who's who. Real life world problem through a sci-fi lens, yeah. I do agree with you on Crow's method, but what other choice does Crow have? Yeah. Okay. Wow. Cat got your tongue? Kinda, yeah. Stand up, Jesus. Wait a minute. You haven't answered me yet. Where are you going? I'm going to look for Jack's daughter. Oh, Commander. Oh. Yep, that's our commander. God damn it. D-Day. Let's see. D-Day at the interrogation room in rehabilitation center. Why is everything so blurry? Lunamay, hi. Lunamay. Hello, can you hear me? Anyone home? What's going into you lately? I've been searching for Jack's daughter. I thought we closed the book on that yesterday. I went to the ACPU yesterday, but couldn't track down her location. So I started searching and I don't know why, but I tend to struggle just to say it. So I started searching in rehabilitation center early today. Okay, that's enough. I don't need to hear the rest. The bags under your eyes are dark enough already. You stupid human. Hey! Why would you need to inquire about something so glaringly obvious? Obvious? Think about that girl's situation. Her parents came from the dregs of society, and she isn't that many rungs up the ladder herself. No one would bat an eye if she were to go missing. Besides, the most important thing is that that child is female. So what? Oh no. No. So what? Low investment, high return. I think we know what happened. The Ark has always adhered to this principle. Think about it. How would Jack's daughter fit into this? Yeah. Huh? Come on, Commander. Come on. Seriously, it's not that difficult. I don't know if you're stupid or just naive. The answer is standing right in front of you. If you still can't figure it out after me spoon feeding you the answer like that, then I can't help you. You mean she became a Nikke? Mm-hmm. Exactly. How can you be so sure? I don't believe it. How can you be so sure? If you find it so unbelievable, why don't you ask the big three yourself? Ingrid, Sioen, Mustang, on at least one of their desks, there's bound to be a file on the daughter of an outlaw. I'll ask them. Oh boy, who has her? Who? Who's the lucky number? Ingrid. I told you.
Emotional damage.
The Ark has been like this from the very beginning. Mama Ingrid, yep. Outlaws, orphans, criminals, or other marginalized classes that cannot adapt to society are flushed down the drain and forgotten about. Thank goodness. I mean, at least she's with Ingrid, but it still doesn't help the fact that she became a Nikke, like, you know what I mean? This is giving me rappy backstory all over again, in a sense. Out of sight, out of mind. While we're on the topic, let me ask you something. Nikke, the goddess of victory, mankind's last bastion of hope. Such lavish praise. So, how come they are forced to remain at the bottom of society? I don't know. Honestly, that is a good question. I can't believe I'm gonna say this. This is probably like the only time I just Crow, like Crow is straight up asking a very, very good question. I hate the idea that the Ark, they have Nikkes that straight up go day to day to protect civilians, and they get no recognition. They're now starting to get recognition because of the commander, but beforehand, nah. That is a good question. So how come they're forced to remain at the bottom of society? I don't know, because of the need of the military. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I hate most people, both real and fiction. I only love 30% of the entire human population for a reason. Like I said, well, we like the story, but humanity arc are impossibly bad, yeah. God damn. Bond's story is not over. Yeah, you might agree with her at least one more time. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Again, I don't like Crow, but Crow does actually drop, like some of the real questions. I don't know because of the need. I don't know. I don't know. Nikke's didn't always occupy the lower strata of society. Hi, Snow. In the first generation, people were far more grateful to them. They often worshipped them as goddesses. They nearly became the centerpieces of a new religion in the Ark. But as the war between the Raptors became more barbarous, Jesus, I'm learning a lot of new words in a way in terms of saying. The military began coming up with ways to order these powerful mechanical soldiers in an inhumane way. Sorry, I'm listening to the music. Little by little, piece by piece, their rights were stripped away. First it was their civil and human rights. In the end, they were even deprived of the right to think and act for themselves. These girls' bodies were mechanical, but their minds were undeniably human. Jesus, I can't read today. I'm really having a bad day today, huh? Ooh, I have good days in which I can read, other days I can't read. Ooh. Yes, they were presented as inhuman creatures to the public. I hate this, but at the same time, god damn it. Were there any Nikkes who resisted? Yes. Of course. But there were not nearly enough of them, yeah. The military was an overwhelming force at the time. If that power was going to be broken, the citizens would have to assemble. But the people back then, how should I put it? This is giving me, well, I won't say giving me, but this has reminded me of the first couple scenes in Rappy's event. With the nurse, the doctor, the news, Rappy going out into the real world and seeing like the real world, and they inexplicably did nothing. It was as if they had collectively chosen to forget the only reason why they were able to live happy and carefree lives. That was thanks to the Nikkes. Like some kind of mass amnesia. Despite this, Nikkes were still fighting for the people. Even then, they sacrificed themselves. All in vain. So you love asking questions. So let me ask you another question. Are those citizens really innocent? Crow is really, really, really dropping the real questions, man. Crow is straight up dropping the real questions. Good questions. Yeah, I haven't played Rappy's event. I need to. Whenever you get the chance, whenever it's available, do it. Do it. Rappy's event contains a lot of lore. Are those citizens really innocent? No. You can hate her, but you gotta admit she's spitting facts. Yeah. Why not? They had the power to come to Nikke's aid, but instead, they looked on and did nothing. I think so too. So I came here myself. If I committed the same crime but ran away, how could I ever face him in the end? Ooh, excuse me. Crow's evil, yes, but understandably evil, yeah. I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but I'm glad that she's not just, ha 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 ha, I want to destroy the world because I just want to. Crow is very much a very, very, you know, like realistic person. Not cartoonishly evil, yeah. She has, as much as I don't agree with her, she has her reasons, and some of the things that she explains make sense. As again, as much as I don't want to agree, but some of them make sense. She's not evil for the sake of evil, yeah. She's just sadistic. I wouldn't even say sadistic. Not just traumatized villain. Yeah, yeah. I really hope this Bond story isn't foreshadowing. Someone mentioned it before, but the whole Doro and Crow, they're both in a sense similar, but I feel like Doro is much more blinded, heavily blinded compared to Crow. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I feel like Crow has a much clearer mindset than Dorothy. Foreshadowing the command of war with the Ark? Maybe. Oh damn, I could see them giving Black Crow wings to contrast with Dorothy's White Angel wings. Maybe. An Ark Civil War, maybe? Maybe. She even sat down and listened to Diesel singing for hours and comments it's good atmosphere she's trying. Yeah, the bomber said that. It's for these reasons that I can't truly hate Crow. See, Crow's meant to be a character that you know that you're supposed to hate. Crow is straight up a character that you are meant to hate. And if anything, Shift Up did a really good job of actually making us the players not like her. However, Crow is an interesting villain. Crow is a very interesting villain. Like I said, I'm glad that she's not just, you know, just pure on fucking evil. Like, Crow actually has her reasonings. As much as I don't like those reasons, she does have a reason. And Dorothy explicitly said that she wanted to present the Ark with a choice at the end of the summer event. The comparison is definitely valid. It's very valid. It's very valid. You also hate she has a point. Yeah, exactly. I hate that she made me just stop and actually think, man. Oh my god, it's how she uses her allies that pisses me off. True. Again, just the idea that Crow, at least at this point of the story, Crow has a clean record. Obviously not now in the current story of Nikke, because now she has like that terrorist attack on her, but yeah. So Crow, no. I don't want her to get a redemption arc, but it would be interesting to see how her head is functioning in a sense. Hi, Fizz. She does not need a redemption arc, but I'm interested to know what is going on in her head. Crow doesn't always make sense. She hates the Ark and sees the commander as a good guy, but still trying to make him kill. It's just the comparison, man. The comparison between Dorothy and Crow, it's scary. That is very scary in my perspective. Especially now, well, spoiler alert for those who haven't done Goddess Fall, spoiler alert. Now that we know that Dorothy isn't in Eden, actually I wouldn't say isn't in Eden, but she's not part of the squad anymore. She's on her own, and most likely Dorothy is heading back towards the Ark. I don't know what she's planning, but now that scares me. How are you? I'm doing good. Welcome on in. She needs a therapist. She really does. She really, really does. Crow played herself and used the worst possible solution at everyone's expense. Yeah. Luna denied it so fast. I'm scared to learn what Dorothy's gonna do. Yeah. Whatever therapist is the commander. Yeah. Oh, now there's a thought. Crow and Dorothy teaming up. I said it before, and I said that I don't want that, nor do I see it happening. But at this point, maybe. There is possibly a chance that Dorothy is probably going to work alongside with Crow. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. It would either be Crow tripled down on being evil, or Crow is kind of proven right about everything, especially considering after the Ark invasion, Nikke's stock has been way up. It's kind of the latter, yeah. Can we take care of Sixo before those two? Yeah, no, yeah, yep, The fact that you could even consider in brainstorming, let's keep going. As for all the manipulation and betrayal, that's just what people have to do to survive, yeah. Okay. They're both too headstrong. I feel like Dorothy is not so headstrong anymore. At least that's what I'm noticing. I feel like she's slowly slipping. Just a smidge. They would try to use each other. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's Dorothy. Yeah. She's bullheaded to the point of destruction. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks that Judge through Sixo made Crow what she is. I don't like her at all. I straight up do not like Crow. But I will say, her Bond story is very interesting. I had a lot of people tell me that Crow's Bond story is by far the most interesting one, and I can see why. I can definitely see why. Holy shit. What was the last couple of things real quickly? Are those citizens really innocent? No, why not? They had the power to come to Nikke's aid, but instead, they looked on and did nothing. I think so too. So, I came here myself. If I committed the same crime but ran away, how could I ever face them in the end? Actually, I went to the ACP yesterday to turn myself in. I told them I was the one behind the terrorist incident at the Daily Ark newspaper office. How could she do this? Someone was gunned down right in front of her and she didn't care at all. But the people back then, how should I put it? They inexplicably did nothing. Hello. They stood and watched. For this, they are guilty. God damn it. I see. Oops. How time flies. Enoch's verdict will begin any minute now. Enoch is the AI who has represented human will from the very beginning. You could say its opinion and society's opinion are one and the same. Well then, let's see what society has to say about about the crime I committed. Okay. Alright, let's finish this off. Liberation. Let's see Enoch's verdict. I shall now pronounce the sentence for the Nikke crew. First, she violated the principle by which she is duty-bound to protect humans. Second, due to the conflict being interhuman in nature, she, therefore, wavered in placing a priority on the aforementioned duty. Third, even if she had reached her own decision, she would have been incapable of determining it as her own. A search has shown that there are no past cases available for reference. Okay. According to the legal artificial intelligence system, a new case has been formed. In order to prevent the recurrence of such incident in the future, funny, very, very funny. In order to prevent the recurrence of such incidents in the future, the verdict is as follows. The future. The following imperative shall be entered in the nymph of the Nikke crow who observed the killing of civilians from the sidelines. Hold up. The following imperative shall be entered in the nymph of the Nikke crow who observed the killing of civilians from the sidelines. It shall also be entered into all other Nikkes. A civilian's life shall take precedence over a non-civilian's. That is all. So you're really, really hammering the idea of Nikkes are not supposed to go after humans in a sense. Okay. She's really, really, really hammering there. Okay. I fucking hate this AI. Yeah. So humans are more important than Nikkes? I feel like there needs to be a balance. Hammering you say no. So protect the upper class people. Just protect people in general, but I guess so, yeah. That is all. Soon after, the interrogation room and rehabilitation center. You look terrible. Gee, thanks. I'm leaving rehabilitation center. You gonna miss me? Heck no! You wish. Let's go, Commander. You wish. Turns out Enix's judgment wasn't what you were looking for. It's just arbitrarily determined the value of human life. I love how the commander called Enoch it. Okay. It just arbitrarily determined the value of a human life. The following imperative shall be entered in the nymph of the Nikke crow who observed the killing of civilians from the sideline. It shall also be entered into all other Nikkes. A civilian's life takes precedence over a non-civilian. Oh well. Outlaws being regarded as lesser than human is nothing new. However, this is the first time it's officially become a code of conduct. Should you encounter an outlaw in conflict with a civilian, the outlaw should be eliminated without hesitation. It's too bad. I hate this. I really, 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 really hate this. Really, really hate this. I feel like this kind of goes hand in hand with what's happening in today's story, in a sense. You do realize that Nikkes are humans, right? Apparently they don't see it like that. To be fair, this sort of falls into line with her idea of forcing the Ark to make a choice. Yeah. It's too bad. I can't change anything. It's more than that. Enoch asserted that you have no free will. Third, even if she had reached her own decision, she would have been incapable of determining it as her own. Free will has always been a uniquely human privilege. If biologically human outlaws aren't treated humanly, then forget about a heap of metal like me. Enoch represents the Ark, and it made a verdict suitable for the Ark. Yep, it did. It's been a long time since I last stood in the trial hall. It only reaffirmed to me just how stinking and rotten the society is. Uh-oh. How much you want to bet that, in a way, this whole event that happened in her Bond story just made things far worse for the destruction of the Ark in later chapters. This definitely made it worse. Added fuel to her file. Yeah. But enough about that. Let's lighten things up. They're officially releasing me. How about going for a nice stroll under the artificial lights? I heard that you're going to be the one escorting me to the Outer Rim. Why don't you stick around for a little while? If the Outer Rim ever comes into some kind of power, the Ark is gonna get its shit rocked, yeah. Soon after, before entering the gate of the Outer Rim. Hi! What? Hi! Crow! That's our doggo. Crow! Hi! Jackal, come here. Crow. Don't stop, because this is actually adorable. This is actually adorable. Crow tussles Jackal's hair. You got out sooner than we expected. You said you wanted to rest in rehabilitation center for a few days, so I thought you would stay longer. Rest for a few days? Why'd it get so awkward all of a sudden? What do you mean by that, Viper? Was it something I said? What do you mean? What's going on? Tell me. Or tell me, yeah. Cool your jets. I happened upon a terrorist attack by pure happenstance. That outlaw made a bet with his and his daughter's lives. I did the same, that's all. The end result may not have been all I expected, but it wasn't a total loss. What did you say? Lunamayvt, hi, I hate that you're getting close. I wanted to have a proper chat with you before. I knew that if Nikke had the misfortune of ending up in rehabilitation center, her commander would come calling. So you did this because you wanted to chat with me? You... Obviously, you know, like, you didn't do everything, but you kind of just played along. So, don't be sad. There's plenty more where that come from. Oh, hell nah. I look forward to working together again. No,
Egad.
See you later, Commander. Come to the Outer Rim next time you're free. We can hang out. You know, you could have just called, right? Obviously, she didn't do the whole terrorist thing, but she kind of just went with it. You know what I mean? She kind of just went with it. So not only did she turn herself in because of other reasons, she also turned herself in because she wanted to chat with us. I mean, okay, all right. Crow's like Crow's a mystery, man. Oh my god. How do you say that? Ignoramus? If it were you, would you want to hang out? Who are you calling I can't even say it. Who are you calling Ignoramus? Ramus? Thank you. Later, the gate to the Outer Rim will open. The central government has designated the area inside as highly dangerous. Please be careful not to enter by mistake, thank you. I gotta go. Bye. Bye. Wait a minute, huh? Do you have something to say? There'll never be a time when I wouldn't want to see you. What? Where'd that come from, Commander? If you ever need someone to unite with, you know where to find me. Commander. Commander, no, no, no. No. No, this is not Riz. No, no, no. Hold up. Did I read that right? Wait a minute. Do you have something to say? There'll never be a time when I wouldn't want to see you. What? Where'd that come from? If you ever need someone to unite with, you know where to find me. No. Even she's speechless. Yeah, the gate closes and the three Nikkes disappear across the partition separating the Ark. From the residential area where civilians live in the high life, to the outer rim where there's no light, where no light shines. I wonder when, or rather if, we reach the end of this war together. Will we be able to undo and overcome this segregation? I'm no stranger to this place, and neither are you. I hate that we're having this moment, so quit it with the fairy tales and snap out of it. That's probably what Crow would have said. But yeah. But someone has to walk this path, even if they fall on the way down. At least they'll have made the world a better place for those living in it, however small the change. What do I say? What? The story went from down to up, you know, like we got some really, really good information, and then it just went down and went, and then it just went down again. Luna getting flashbang by a white screen is also Congratulations, you did it! A reminder, there was some sexual tension in she wanted to be our first kill. Hell no! Do I like Crow? No. Okay. Like her as a villain, yes. Like her as a villain, yes. Everything else, Luna, you know what I hate? I love Gotham, but after knowing Crow, fuck no, next, yeah. I love her as a villain. Crow is a very well-written villain. I do like that, but that's just it. I think him saying that is his way to fuck with her mentally. Like, why did he say that after everything? I'm gonna go off with the assumption that, you know, the commander didn't mean it that way, if you know what I mean. I feel like he meant it as a, hey, if you need to sit down and talk, we can talk. Not, no. Well, he tried. Well done, you did my Bond story.